How's it going, everyone? David from dodmedia. I'm here with Maciek from the Oxford Atelier, and today what are we doing?
We're going to talk about the 105 1.4 Sigma art lens.
That's what we're going to do. All right, let's go. So Sigma brought out this lens, and it's not something that's really been done that much before. Nikon are the only other brand that I know of that have a 105 f1.4 prime lens, it's a very special kind of focal length and aperture relationship, because you wouldn't expect a length like that to have that fast an aperture. So we shot it together. You're gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. How's the
free workout?
So we decided to do a shoot with Iga, and we'll show you a few of these photos that we got throughout the video, just because it kind of offers this really, I don't know, like a really unique look that I've never really been able to get with any other telephoto lens because of that difference between shooting at f2.8 versus f1.4 on this. So Maciek has selected a few of the photos that he got during the shoot. So we're gonna have a look at them and break them down. Tell us a little bit about what you were trying to get with the lens, what kind of angles you were going for, what kind of things you were struggling with the lens because of that focal length or because of the light or the weight or anything like that. So yeah, what did you think about shooting with the lens?
First of all, love it. Love the lens. I love how sharp it is and quick it is, actually, fast on the same time. I have to say, actually, for the first time I used my Sony camera, because I'm a Canon user, and I was testing Sony camera and then testing on the same time the lens. And I love it. We picked the location because of the bokeh that we were trying to see what it does actually to it.
The kind of setting that we were going for was aiming for golden hour. Unfortunately, there was a lot of cloud cover in the evening, but we still managed to get a lot of backlight coming through trees, coming through the bridge, coming across the water, which gave this really nice background, this really bright background to shoot against, which, as Maciek managed to capture here, it looks fantastic.
I have to say I'm a massive fan of shooting wide open as well, which is sometimes a little bit tricky, because when you shoot 1.4, let's say, you can get some of the focal length, you can get sharp eyes, but like tip of a nose, it's not going to be as sharp or the other way around if you miss the eye. Once with this lens, I have to say it's weird, but everything is like sharp all the way. Which I was really surprised with, and then the amount of detail in a photo is amazing as well. But maybe on the same time, it's because of the camera I'm shooting it with as well.
Yeah, it was both of our first times really doing a proper shoot using the Sony body. I've recently upgraded to an A7 III from a Canon, and Maciek's also upgraded to an A7 R3 from a Canon. So we're both coming from bigger DSLR backgrounds, going on to smaller mirrorless bodies. So that was a bit of a learning curve in itself. But as well as that, shooting with a new lens that neither of us have shot with before, that was kind of it was a little bit tricky at first.
Absolutely, yeah.
I wasn't quite sure if I was actually getting anything good or not.
Especially when you organize everything, you've got a model there set on time, and then you go there, and then she's got different outfits, and it could be a little bit nerve-wracking, but I think we did good.
Yeah, and you're fighting against time because
Absolutely.
The light is just going down and down. But no, so do you want to show us what you got?
Absolutely.
What's your first picture?
Cool. So I asked Iga here to go a little bit high up, and I was able to go a little bit lower and shoot up to get that really nice bokeh behind her.
So you can see in this behind the scenes shot that there's a little mound so that Iga could actually get higher up, and that way Maciek was able to shoot upwards so that the trees and the leaves and stuff were actually the background instead of being at eyeline level.
We were lucky enough to get a little bit of a light from the back, but we were aiming to get some sunset, which we didn't get really at the end. But I'm still happy with the image anyway. We've got a little bit of almost like a rim light behind her because of the light. And then we had one light set up on slightly to the right from what I remember as well. And yeah, what I love about the photo is actually the amount of detail and the bokeh, which is amazing on this photo. It's just crazy.
It's just beautiful.
It is a killer, yeah. What I was surprised about as well was the vignetting. There's not much vignetting in a photo either.
Yeah.
I was trying to find it in Lightroom, just zoom in on the edges, and it looks amazing.
What's really interesting is, I mean, I'm guessing you were shooting wide open as well.
Yes.
So the two of us shooting at f1.4 didn't really notice any vignetting at all, which at a telephoto length like that, you're not necessarily going to get a huge amount of vignetting, but still you would expect to see some when you're shooting wide open, and it would normally be when you stop down the lens that would disappear. But in this case, it was really hard to actually find any vignetting at all wide open. So that was kind of nice. I actually ended up adding vignetting back in
Did you?
post.
Oh, really? Okay.
I love that really vignetted look.
Okay.
That's something that I always go for. No?
No.
So this one shot that I got, which was very close up, it was pretty much as close as the lens would focus, actually ended up focusing on the hair that was in front of her face instead of getting to the eyes that were, you know, a centimeter, 2 centimeters behind. And you can really tell the focus is off. That's how shallow that depth of field is when you're that close. There wasn't any fringing whatsoever. There wasn't any chromatic aberration whatsoever. It was really, really surprising. I was really impressed with that.
There's that compromise, obviously, that when you've got so much optics packed into one lens, you have to carry it around, and that's the weight.
This thing is an absolute brick. It's so heavy, it's ridiculous.
Especially being a wedding photographer, when you have to carry a lens, 2 of your cameras all day long. I think it might be a bit of a downside, so I probably wouldn't use it all the time. Like I use my 70-200 lens, which is also heavy but gives me that range.
It's more versatile.
Absolutely. I think for some of the occasions on the wedding day, I would definitely use it.
I think I could see myself in a wedding using this for the couple shoot. When we take the couple away,
definitely
shoot them, do their portraits as a couple, as the newlyweds, and that, I feel like this lens would absolutely shine for that, because that's typically where I would use an 85mm normally. So having that extra bit of focal length, I think that would probably be the place where I'd take this out.
Also for some portraits as well.
And for some portraits as well, yeah.
Totally agree. I probably would use it in a church in some occasions, so when I can't really go close to the couple. So. And in a church, you struggle with the low lights quite often as well. So,
that's true. Yeah.
So that one, when I would use it probably as well. But
you don't want to set up a lot of strobes in the church.
No, you're not even allowed. So yeah. Again, because you don't have to come really close to the couple, you can shoot from a distance and don't interrupt the ceremony.
Yeah, and you want to be inconspicuous during the ceremony, and
like a ninja.
Yeah. I've had a priest glare at me before because I got up and moved a little bit closer to the couple down the aisle, and he literally stopped talking and just stared at me until I just stopped walking and sat still again. And I felt like,
dude,
have you had that before?
I had a priest stop the ceremony saying, "I told you."
No.
And once he was a priest and once he was registrar. And the ceremony was outside as well. I went far away at the back, and she said, "Don't take any photos." But I thought, the couple gonna appreciate it. And I was way behind all the ceremony, and I took a shot, one shot actually, and she stopped the ceremony and she said, "I told you."
But the couple are there,
I know, right?
Asking you to take photos of them.
But the couple said she's an asshole.
Yeah. So definitely this lens would give you that. It would give you that advantage of being a little bit further away.
Absolutely.
Get a bit more of a candid look and just get a bit more reach when you're in a situation where you're not allowed to walk around and wander around and disrupt things and interrupt ceremonies. Yeah,
but I think not only that, but also gives you that creative look because of the bokeh and because of the you can shoot wide open 1.4. So as you mentioned earlier, I think when you go out with a couple for a photo shoot, then I'll definitely use that lens as well.
Yeah,
It feels like every other Sigma art lens, very solid. It's not plasticky. It's not really like it.
You could really, you could injure someone badly with that if you wanted to. Fend your attackers off, and you shouldn't attack people with lenses.
Definitely not. No,
it's not good.
No, don't try it at home. What would you use it for outside the weddings then? Would you just portrait?
I would use it for...
So David!
The tables have turned!
So David, enough about weddings. Would you use it for anything else?
I would definitely use it for portraiture. I think it looks so gorgeous when you're close up, when you're getting that kind of headshot. It just looks absolutely bloody beautiful. Like this shot of Iga is a perfect example of how this lens really, it just separates her from the foreground, from the background, and just makes the subject stick out like absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Like the separation is just fantastic. But I would definitely see myself using this for portraiture, just because it's just so good at popping that subject out from the frame and keeping everything sharp, keeping everything that's necessary sharp, and really blurring the hell out of everything that's not necessary to be sharp. That was my impression of shooting with it, and it was a real delight to shoot with, I think. All right, that is everything from us. Hope you enjoyed listening to us chat about the Sigma 105 f1.4 art lens, our experience of using it, seeing the photos that we got with it, and shooting on Sony bodies, which neither of us were used to, but learning curve, we got there, we're getting there. It was pretty cool to use this lens with the MC11 adapter, and it focused so well, it focused so quickly, faster than on a Canon body.
That's crazy, yeah. I was going to say.
Really insane. So I think it's a really specific use lens. It's not something you would want to shoot everything with, just because it's slightly too long, it's slightly too wide aperture for every occasion, but it has its specific uses, and it's really like it excels in those for portraiture, for events where you're trying to have that kind of candid look, where you're not wanting to get too close to someone or not disrupt something that's happening, some kind of interaction that's happening, but you want to capture it and still have it look aesthetically gorgeous with a lot of bokeh, with a lot of background blur, a lot of foreground blur. This is the lens for you if you want to do that. Give this a thumbs up if you liked what you saw, like that. Hit that subscribe button to get more videos from me at dodmedia, and Maciek, because he's awesome and I want to hang out with him more. Follow us on Instagram, those are our handles, and yeah, see you next time.